Sowing Seeds is part of the Rural Development Programme for England. The money is dropped down from Europe as part of the European Agricultural Fund for Rural Development, and Sowing Seeds is one of 64 local action groups across the country. The Sowing Seeds Local Action Group started in 2008, and since then we've supported 35 projects and in total have invested 1.6 million into South Wiltshire and North Dorset. The Local Action Group is made up of local stakeholders who all bring passion, expertise and enthusiasm. So the decision-making process really is in the hands of the Local Action Group. We have over 300 people on our mailing list, all of whom have come along to meetings throughout the programme period, who really have made a difference to the area. When a project applicant gets in touch with me, my job is to ensure that I give them the very best support to ensure that their project is endorsed by the Local Action Group.
Well, we were absolutely delighted to secure a Sowing Seeds grant for a year to deliver a sustainable rural tourism project across the Nadder Valley region of the AONB. So it's basically a beautiful area that stretches from Wilton near Salisbury right the way across to Shaftesbury and includes about 35 picturesque villages and historic churches, stunning wildlife, beautiful chalk downland, and lots of mile upon mile of rights of way. We've only had a short time to deliver this project. We've only had a year. A huge amount has been achieved within a short space of time, and I've now got collected information on over 200 different businesses. A lot of those are micro businesses, lots of B&Bs, pubs, shops, artists, etc. And I've set up a tourism network for those businesses to help support each other and buy services from each other to try and keep the investment within the area as much as possible and benefit the economy.
We're a 17-bedroom guest house, fully licensed, and we work off the green ethos with everything homemade, home produced or locally sourced if possible. The rooms are all of the highest quality with sensational mattresses to help try and guarantee a good night's sleep. We all think we work closely with the other businesses around us, but I think when you actually sit in the same room and discuss the same subject and how it affects each other, you get to know each other and then just pick up the phone when you want something to happen. So we're working with other B&Bs for overflow accommodation, supplies. We're already supplying eggs to some of them. We'll probably be supplying breads and jams and things like that in the future so that they can improve their offering.
Beans is a tea room and bookshop. We serve the local community anywhere within a sort of 10-mile or so radius. We've been here for 3 years operating as a tea room. We all like to have lots of customers and visitors, but we don't always want the kind of traditional tourism we always comes to mind when we think of that. And what's been great about this project is it's brought visitors to the community who really appreciate what we have and what we are without affecting it in a negative way, and that's been really positive for us.
We are currently producing a new website which is called Discover Nadder, and that will bring all the tourism information together for the area. There'll be brand new circular walking and cycling trail guides that people will be able to download from the website, and that will help to bring tourists into the area as well. And you know, we've got a fantastic partnership of businesses all working together now, over 200 businesses just within this region of the AONB. We've delivered loads of courses for the businesses, free courses, all sorts of courses from social media courses right the way through to how they can encourage new types of visitors into the area.
Other parts of the project that we were involved in was some of the staff training that was offered. We had a couple of staff who went along to various things there, and it's really useful for us to have that kind of thing going on more locally because of the distances involved. We're sending staff off to courses and the time associated with it as well, so that was very useful to us.
We do a lot of work with the local farming community, and they stress that to be able to expand their product range, that we could smoke the meat, you know, bacon, smoked gammons, that sort of thing, smoked sausages. We also installed a specialised packing machine, so we could pack the meat more professionally. We got a lot of help from Sarah, who's part of the Sowing SEEDS body, and yeah, it was very simple. You know, the application form was very straightforward. Surprised at how quick and the process was actually to be able to go from just an idea straight into actually going and starting the project and getting it finished. So the farmers take their animals to the abattoir, in which we then collect the carcasses from the abattoir, then bring the carcasses back here, hang them to the required amount of time, depending on whether it's a pork carcass, a beef carcass or lamb carcass. We would then contact the farmer for their specified cutting requirement, and then we would go and we'd butcher the meat, we'd pack the meat to their requirement, label the meat to their requirements, and we'd do a variety of different labels, custom labelling, we do all the pricing, all the sell-by dates, all the traceability details, and you know, right down, you know, to how the farmer needs the meat to be packed and labelled so that they can then sell it on to the final consumer. Sowing SEEDS were pretty much the only people out there that we could, you know, really approach to help with what we wanted to do.
Well, we went to the Blackmore Vale Magazine Business Awards for 2013, and we were very, very, very surprised and very excited to have won the Farm Business of the Year. It was absolutely wonderful, and this is our trophy, which we're extremely proud of, and it's displayed in our shop here, and we're very, very excited about it, and it's really nice.
I've invented a device for rapidly drying small diameter logs from a coppicing process to be used as firewood. And the device I've designed is fueled using brash wood offcuts from the coppicing process, so it's completely a self-contained process where you don't need any other fossil fuels or anything like that. This kiln will dry out 0.5 cubic metre of firewood in a day. So this inner chamber here holds 0.5 cubic metre. And it will dry 0.5 cubic metre of firewood in 8 hours. Here, unfortunately today, the kiln's actually slightly disassembled, but what we have on the floor here is the lids from the fuel hoppers, where you feed the material into the kiln, which is then burnt to warm the chamber to dry the firewood. So we have air vents on the top here with the feed hoppers, and the lids open up and you put the fuel down inside, and it's burnt to dry the wood, and they're attached onto the side here, around the far side of the kiln. And so the heat travels through into the kiln and then warms the chamber to dry the wood. So my process makes the most of coppicing, which is the most sustainable method of managing a woodland. It's extremely good for biodiversity. A well-managed coppice is as biodiverse in insect life as the Amazon rainforest, apparently. I'm drying the firewood out completely to make the most of its energy potential as a fuel, and the kiln-dried firewood logs that I'll be producing will give somewhere like 25% more energy per volume of firewood than regular firewood logs. So I've reduced the moisture content of a log from 60 to 80% actually, which is what a freshly cut log is in water, down to 10% moisture content. Kiln drying has been used for quite a long time to dry wood in lots of different industries, firewood and for carpentry and building materials are all kiln dried. But there's no such thing at the moment as a mobile kiln for firewood. And the mobile kiln is especially beneficial in our context where we have small woodlands, because you can take the kiln from woodland to woodland rather than having to extract the timber and transport it to a kiln, which is obviously costly in fossil fuels. In the short term, I'm going to set up an exemplar firewood business to show people what a firewood business can actually do, produce a consistently good quality firewood. And then one idea for the long term is actually to franchise a model for a firewood business, have apprenticeships, teach young people how to manage woodland sustainably, possibly also to sell and market the device itself to other people. It could be useful in lots of different contexts. Estates, large estates which have woodland which they can manage for firewood is a useful application of it. I expect this will probably last 10 or 15 years, each unit will, whereas if I'd made it myself without the help of Sowing SEEDS, I think it would have been much less sustainable probably. Sowing SEEDS have been a massive help.
Over the last few years, it's become increasingly clear that with the retirement of local butcher, who also had a grocery business within that shop, as well as the post office, that when he retired, we would have no shop in the whole of the Chalk Valley west of the A354. And that's a large area, and it would have been a real loss of an amenity. So as a result of the development of a community plan, the support that was gained from the community in looking seriously at a community shop came forward, and we were very lucky in the support we received from Sowing SEEDS. That gave us the confidence to go back to the community and say, this grant is available as long as we can come up with comparable money. A project team was formed, quite a small one, of business people and specialists. We were also able to pull in specialists from outside the team. The Chalk Valley is blessed with a lot of people with a lot of talent, and everyone was extremely keen to help. We also went forward and raised money from a share issue, and really that came largely as from the confidence given by the Sowing SEEDS grant. And then we got to work in February with the conversion of the building, and by the end of April everything was ready. Then the shop was already fitted out at that point. Conversions had been made to other parts of the building, and by June the 3rd we were able to open, which happened to be the week after the old shop closed. And the first 3 or 4 months have proved to be very exciting and a real confidence builder, because our turnover is greater than budget by quite a lot, and that is having a knock-on effect on the rural economy, which is part of the point of Sowing SEEDS. We already have 22 local suppliers within 15 miles, and that accounts already for over a third of the purchase each month, and so a third of the turnover. And that's really how it should be, and I think that will increase. The money earner is the retail business within the community shop. The post office, which works 4 mornings a week, and the coffee shop, which is within the area of the building that is still used as a chapel at weekend. So during the week it's a coffee shop, and at weekends it can become a chapel for URC church use. On the mezzanine floor there's the Broad Chalk Village Archive, and this room that we're in now is the shop office and also the Anglican team administration office, so it's double use, and at times it's used by the police as well. This really is truly becoming the community hub, not just for Broad Chalk but for Bower Chalk, Alverdiston, Ebbsbourne Wake and Bishopston. So we have quite a large catchment, about getting on for 3,000 people. Community projects like this really require the sort of support that we have had from Sowing Seeds, and we would like to think that that would continue into the future, and that if we need to expand further there would be some more support coming from rural grants, government, EU, wherever that comes from, and we need an organisation that can handle it as successfully as Sowing Seeds has done over the last 5 years.